I'm Nintendo.
And I'm Sega.
This is Console Lore! Dude, you shouldn't have done that.
Why not?
Because it's wrong?
But I always do that.
It's offensive?
How is drinking the worm with my tequila offensive?
Because of our guest?
Why would that offend him? Oh right, the whole being worm thing. Nah, it's okay. I'm sure he wasn't related.
So, why are you here again, Jim?
Psycho captured Princess What's Her Name, and your Facebook profile says you're good at rescuing princesses. Wait, this guy?
What? I'm Nintendo. I love Super Mario.
So, what are you gonna do when you find Psycho? What am I gonna do? What I do best, of course.
Get nude and slither around?
Close, but no. I'm gonna blast him with one of my funky guns. Earthworm Jim Justice. Nice. Right, like this gun. It's a pudding gun. It shoots pudding at enemies. Oh, that's cool. And this is a stale bread gun. It shoots stale bread at enemies. And this is my banana gun. Let me guess, it shoots bananas at enemies? Nope, it turns people into cows. Cause you know, me and cows. Oh, I just caught the banana gun cause it's yellow.
That's definitely purple.
You know, all those guns remind me of Earthworm Jim too.
Oh yeah.
So good for the Sega Genesis.
Right. But it was better for the Super Nintendo.
That's it. Are we doing this?
Do worms have butts? Yeah, they're in the center of the body.
That is correct. Best Earthworm Jim 2.
Earthworm Jim 2 was released in 1995. It was the last Earthworm Jim game developed by original creators Doug TenNapel, David Perry, and Shiny Entertainment. It received high praise when it was released and has been ported to many consoles.
The versions we're looking at today were the ones released for the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis, both developed by Shiny Entertainment. They're almost identical, but there are some differences. Which one's better? Let's find out.
The look of these games is almost identical.
Both games have the same looking levels, the same looking characters, and the same looking character animations.
Almost identical, but my game looks better. You're missing vignettes.
On Super Nintendo, you have a nice vignette. On Sega, you don't. Just a poor attempt at one. They just black out parts of the background. It's not a true vignette since you can still clearly see the walls, bumpers, items, and enemies. And check out this level. Again, another Super Nintendo vignette. Can you guess what Sega did? That's right. Nothing.
So I'm missing vignettes. You're missing things too.
Check out the way the game show lights up on Sega when you get an answer right. It looks pretty lame on Super Nintendo. But check out the floor in this Sega level. It's got lots of lights and sparkles. It doesn't have any of that on Super Nintendo. Or check out this level on Sega. See how the walls get all trippy when you're close to them? It doesn't do anything like that on Super Nintendo.
So, I also have details you're missing.
On this Super Nintendo level, you can see the outline of doors and windows of the houses. You don't see any of that on Sega, probably because it's too 3D for the Genesis.
Okay, so there's some limitations to my hardware. My game still looks better, because once again, your screen is cropped.
Once again, the screen resolution for the Super Nintendo game is cropped. This allows you to see more of this wacky world in the Sega Genesis game.
Sure, it's cropped, but it doesn't make my game look any worse. If anything, not cropping hurts your game.
Check out this Granny bonus level on Super Nintendo. Looks fine. Now check out the Sega game. Nice black bar lines. Same thing happens on this level. It even cuts off your Jim icon. Not a problem on Super Nintendo. This part also has a black bar line. It's fine on Super Nintendo. And check out this level. Nice isometric viewpoint. Looks fine on Super Nintendo. Now look at it not cropped on Sega. Look at these black areas. What an eyesore. Shoulda cropped.
Allowing you to see more does not hurt my graphics. My game still looks better.
You gotta be kidding me. Let's compare the main reason my game looks better. Backgrounds.
Check out the background on this level on Super Nintendo. Look at the nice cascading waterfall. And on Sega, no waterfall. What's the matter? Couldn't handle it. And not only is my background animated, it moves as you move. The background on Sega is static. Or check out the sun on this Super Nintendo background. On Sega, no sun. Plus, my clouds look more transparent. And on this Super Nintendo level, you see transparent clouds or a mist in the background. On Sega, again, nothing. On this Super Nintendo level, see the moon in the background? See how it's the brightest near the moon? On Sega, there's no lighting effect like that at all. In this Super Nintendo level, you sometimes see transparent receipts floating in the background. On Sega, no receipts at all. And on this level, again, the Super Nintendo background moves with you. On Sega, again, it's static. Both games also have a secret level. The background on the Super Nintendo looks fine. Nothing special. Now let's check out Sega. Wow! Nothing! Okay. On that same level, the boss fight on the Super Nintendo has another background. Can you guess what the Sega has? That's right, nothing.
No background? That's just lazy.
Jeez! How hard is it to put in a simple background?
There's no denying it. My graphics are better.
For having vignettes, some extra details, and including way, way more in the backgrounds, best graphics go to Super Nintendo.
Our presentations are almost identical too.
Both games have the same intro, same ending, and the same title cards between levels.
Almost the same, but mine's better. Let's talk logos.
Look at this logo for Playmates on Super Nintendo. It has a sweet reflection. On Sega, no reflection.
Also, my end credits are better.
Check out the credits on Super Nintendo. Occasionally you see Jim's head slide into frame. On Sega, it just appears. No slide, less effort.
Okay, I do have something that makes my presentation better. The continue sign.
On Super Nintendo, the continue sign lights up and it looks fine. However, on Sega, it gets all weird. This fits into the Earthworm Jim aesthetic more.
A continue sign?
Hey, you talked about the logo.
Fair enough. Let's talk about the game over screen.
Both games have a game over screen. You see it if you run out of continues. But the Super Nintendo also shows the game over screen if you choose not to continue. The Sega game does not.
I mean, who's gonna notice that?
Fine. Let's talk about something that actually matters. The names of the levels.
On Super Nintendo, you have this level, Villy People. That's what it says on the title card. It also says that in the Super Nintendo and Sega instruction manuals. So surely it's called Villy People on Sega. Nope. It's called Jim's Now a Blind Cave Salamander. Why did they change that?
A little name change is no big deal. And besides, my HUD is actually better.
Every time you get hit on Sega, the Jim icon by your lives screams in pain. Every time.
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
On Super Nintendo, not so much.
Whoa!
It changes sometimes, but definitely not as often as it does on the Sega game.
Like anyone even looks there. I have a real reason my presentation's better. To the cows.
Whenever you beat a level in either game, you get these cows that say,
Well done.
nice, right? Well, on Super Nintendo, you can keep making them say, well done, in different pitches.
Well done.
You can do this as long as you want. And how's that work on Sega? Oh, wait. It doesn't.
Well done.
You can't even make them say it twice. Well done? More like one and done. Ooh. You never get to control it. You never get different pitches. You never get to have fun. You'll get nothing and you'll like it.
Well done.
Really, talking cows. That's what's gonna put your game over the top. It gets old so fast. Watch, I'll show you.
Well done. Well done. Well done.
Well done.
Well done. Well done. Well done. Well done. Well done. Well done.
Well done.
There. I'm bored already. Ah!
You dye your hair?
Aw, I missed my birthday.
Oh, my presentation's better.
With a nicer logo, better end credits, more game over screens, the level name that matches the book, and well dones for days,
Well done.
best presentation goes to
Well done.
Super Nintendo.
Well done. Well done. Well done.
Well done.
We both have the same music by Tommy Tallarico.
Right, but it definitely sounds better on Sega.
Just listen to that sweet Sega bass.
Bass. Who cares about bass?
I do. I've been taking lessons. Know what song this is? Yeah, it's Michael Jackson's Beat It. Nope, that was Eat It by Weird Al. But
Anyway, Super Nintendo's music is better because of instrumentation.
The music on Super Nintendo sounds like real instruments, while Sega just sounds like a poor imitation. Plus, my vocals are more clear, while Sega's are distorted. Plus, Super Nintendo has more vocals. No vocals in that same section on Sega.
I still like my gritty chiptune soundtrack.
Well, I have more music than you. Let's go back to the intros.
On Super Nintendo, Jim plays a bunch of different notes on the accordion. On Sega, he just loops the same two notes.
Oh, you think you have more music? Let's go to the title cards.
On Sega, you hear the intro music again on the title cards. Every single one. And on Super Nintendo, no music. No music at all.
But it ends weird.
It ends just a second too late, and you can hear the vocals desperately trying to start. Every time. Why didn't they just end it a second earlier?
You're just jealous because you don't have any music during the title cards.
Fine, let's talk about sound effects then.
Fine, let's hear the voiceovers.
The Sega sounds just as good as Super Nintendo.
Tender. Tender.
But you do have one terrible sound effect.
For some reason, the UFOs in your game have a terrible sound effect. On Flying King, and Utterly Abducted. But it's not just limited to the UFOs. You sometimes hear this in Lorenzen Soil. Again, more fart sounds on Sega. On Super Nintendo, it doesn't make that terrible noise at all.
And with that, I have better sound.
With much better instrumentation, more music, clearer vocals, And no fart sound effects. Best sound goes to Super Nintendo.
Way cool! Way cool!
Our gameplay is almost identical.
Same Earthworm Jim variety.
Both games have levels where you run, gun, and platform. Then you get into many different types of gameplay.
There's Lorenzen Soil, where you can change the environment with your gun. You have unlimited ammo, but you're timed.
There's the Flying King. This level you fly in your rocket. Make sure to bring the boom with you, or you'll have to go all the way back to the beginning.
There's the Villy People, or Jim's Noah Blind Cave Salamander. In this level, you float around and kill things. Watch out for those walls. This also has a game show and Simon Says at the end.
There's Inflated Head. This level you inflate and deflate your head while avoiding obstacles.
There's See Jim Run, Run Jim Run. This level's a foot race where you need to get to the end before Psychro. Lots of obstacles and platforming make it a nice challenge.
Then you have Puppy Love, a level where you just make sure the puppies don't die by getting them safely to Pete with a giant marshmallow. Actually, you have 3 of these Puppy Love levels. I feel like one's more than enough, right?
Both games also introduce a password system. It's a bit unique in that it requires you to collect icons in each stage. If you collect all the icons in a level, you can skip the level after you beat the game or get a game over.
Jim's main attack is his gun. He can also use his body as a whip again. He even has a new booger sling and parachute. Also new is a variety of guns you can pick up throughout the game. Mega Plasma, 3-finger gun, Barn Blaster, homing missile, and bubble gun. There's even ammo that can refill whatever gun you have at the time.
Very similar.
But mine is better. Let's look at that screen resolution again.
The wider screen resolution of the Sega not only lets you see more, but makes certain levels easier to play. It's especially useful on levels you need to move fast. One level is Puppy Love. Wider screen resolution lets you see where the puppies were thrown. It makes it much easier than the Super Nintendo game where your sight is limited. You can also see more of Flying King, a level that moves automatically. You have more of an idea of what's up ahead and can be more prepared. And you can see more in Run Jim Run. This is very useful since you need to go as fast as you can. Being able to see further ahead once again lets you prepare more. You won't be as surprised as you are in the Super Nintendo game.
And the screen resolution isn't just useful for levels where you have to move fast.
With a wider screen resolution, you can see more of the level. This lets you also see certain items that you completely miss in the Super Nintendo game.
Once again, this makes a Sega game easier.
Even though my resolution's smaller, I don't think it makes your game any easier.
Oh, it definitely is.
You want to talk easier? Super Nintendo definitely has something that makes the game easier. Switching weapons!
Exclusive to the Super Nintendo is the ability to cycle through your weapons. Behold as I switch through guns with the touch of a button. Can't do that on Sega. On Sega, if you pick up a weapon, that's what you're using now. And you need to use that until you run out of bullets or pick up another gun.
That's not so bad.
No, it's not so bad. It's very bad.
The Super Nintendo gives you choices. You can use that cool gun you just got or save it for later. Can't do that on Sega. The game also has ammo which you can use for any gun. On Super Nintendo, you can cycle to your favorite one and stock up. Can't do that on Sega. And sometimes you get a bad gun, aka the bubble gun. On Super Nintendo, you can just cycle to a much better gun. Can't do that on Sega.
I don't know. Kind of like the bubble gun.
Are you kidding me?
The bubble gun is completely useless. It's a gag weapon. It doesn't hurt anyone and it's slow. It can be very frustrating in levels you need to move fast. Levels like Run Jim Run, where you need every second to win. Instead, you gotta play with bubbles on Sega. The last level, seriously? That's so frustrating. Not a problem at all on Super Nintendo. Just switch weapons. Like this.
Okay, so it can't cycle through weapons. It doesn't waste that much time.
Kinda does.
What? I'll show you. Here I go. Last level. Trying to beat Psychro. Okay, got the bubble gun. Now just use it really quick and... There. See? Not was much time at all. Ah! Oh no, I missed my birthday again!
Cycling through weapons definitely gives my game the edge.
For being able to cycle through weapons, allowing you to stock up on favorites and avoid the bubble gun altogether. Best gameplay goes to Super Nintendo.
Both games are good, but only one is better. And that's Earthworm Jim 2 for the Super Nintendo.
It has better graphics with vignettes, some extra details, and including way more in the background. It has a better presentation with a nicer logo, better end credits, more game over screens, using the right level name, and fun with cows.
Well done.
It has better sound with no fart sound effects, much better instrumentation, more music, and clearer vocals. It has better gameplay with the ability to cycle through weapons. The Sega game isn't bad, the Super Nintendo game just has a little more to offer for every category. It's not much more, but it's enough to make a difference. It's the better looking and better sounding game with a gameplay feature that makes things easier. What more could you ask for? Best Earthworm Jim 2 goes to Super Nintendo.
That was easy. Now let's go find Jim's princess.
Oh, that Psychro! He's so evil! He just tagged me in a photo with him and the princess! Here, let me see that. Okay. Judging by the angle of the sun, they're in our time zone. And look at that food! They're definitely in a restaurant. And the overused pop culture posters in the background tell me it's a franchise. And the color of the napkin suggests that...
They're at Applebee's in Bridgewater.
Wow! Incredible! How'd you know that?
Sekiro tagged the location in the photo.
Oh. Alright guys, I'm up. Good times.
Bye, Jim.
Good luck.
It might not seem like it, but I'm really a nice guy.
Look out below! Aha! I finally found you, Psychro! Prepare to be cow!
Oh no!
Huh? Pudding? I must have mixed them up. I guess the banana gun shoots pudding. That must mean... Wait. Where's my pudding gun?
Hey, check it out. Jim left the pudding gun here.
Oh, sweet! I am starving. Here, let me have it.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Huh. That's weird. All right. Well, more pudding for me.
Thanks for checking out our latest video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks to everyone who recommended Earthworm Jim 2. There were a lot of you. Keep those suggestions coming. We will get to them. Also, check us out on Patreon, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for more console wars goodness. Later.
Excuse me.